Did you know I'm not allowed to play Xbox? Well, at least that's according to a lot of the hyperbolic statements made by the fakest Xbox fans I know on social media. It's such a funny thing too because people act like because I'm hard on Xbox that I absolutely loathe Xbox or that I don't play Xbox. I make it no secret that I love Xbox, and we're going to get into something right now that I feel like I need to say and get this off my chest and kind of put out there where I'm coming from. Hopefully you guys want to stick around and hear this video because I promise you won't be disappointed. Hey there everyone. I'm the Crapgamer, and this, of course, is Crapgamer Reviews, your home for gaming news, opinions, reviews, and much more. You'll probably notice some of the cool changes around here, and hopefully that doesn't stop you from giving us a like, and possibly consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your free time with me and this silly YouTube channel. Now, obviously, people think that I hate Xbox. I do a lot of videos and, you know, the titles are funny or whatever, and it's like, yeah, Sony owns Xbox or whatever. But at the end of the day, I have to be honest. I play where the games are. I play what I want, and I want people to understand that. Now, my disappointment with Xbox has to do with the lack of AAA games and some of the various lies that we'd heard throughout, you know, the previous few years, and the just low quality games that we've gotten. And I can give a few quick examples. I don't want to get too much into it because I know probably a lot of people don't want to hear it, and I want to get into this video about what it's more about. But basically, you know, 790 days between true first-party AAA exclusives for Xbox. Gears of War 5, September 6th, 2019. Forza Horizon 5, I guess it technically releases tomorrow, so on the 9th, and that's something that, you know, is a long time. It realistically breaks down to over 790 days, and that's a very long time considering, you know, that we got an Xbox One X, and basically, you know, a year and a half into it, they stopped making games for it and for Xbox in general. So yeah, you know, I took that hard, and I've been very hard on them due to, you know, the various promises over great E3s, promises of VR and things like that. But at the end of the day, a lot of people think that I'm like, I hate Xbox and I'd never play Xbox. No, you know, that's not me at all. I play Xbox. I post my screenshots from Xbox and PlayStation on Twitter very often, and people still find it, I don't know, amusing to take a screenshot of me. Like, I literally have over 4,000 followers, people that follow me on Xbox Live. And, you know, some of these people will take a screenshot. Look, Crap Gamer's playing Forza Horizon 5. Yeah, I'm playing Forza Horizon 5. Like I said I would. I literally made tweets about this, said it in podcasts, said it in videos, that, you know, it's one of my favorite franchises. And people mistook my whole looks like a graphical downgrade situation with it being a bad game, even though I stated it numerous times. I think it is still going to be a great game, and it is. You know, I did a review for it. I think that it is a fantastic game. The problem is people don't understand this, so I'm going to try and make it clear, and I think I know what the problem is. So the main problem is I game more on Xbox than a lot of these so-called Xbox fanboys do. Right? Like, I'm not trying to brag on Gamerscore. There's a lot of people that have a lot more Gamerscore than me, but I feel like having 176,000 and change Gamerscore is quite a good feat. You know, obviously, you know, there's a lot of people out there that game. I know a lot of people that game all the time, but they game in multiplayer games or the same games, and so they don't have a lot of gamer score. I happen to play a lot of games and buy a lot of games. It's just, I don't just talk out of my behind. I support the developers. I buy games. I have currently installed on my Xbox Series X 943 games. Now, this was well over 1,000 games, but what I did was I had to actually uninstall at least, I think, 150, 200 games. Basically, the main reason was I was, even though I have all this storage and tons of storage, trust me, it was just like I went through there and I just said, well, you know what, I'm never going to play Conan Exiles. You know, why would I ever go back to Forza Horizon 2? You know, I'm not going to do that. Or would I ever go back to Forza Motorsport 5? No. You know, old Madden 18, or, you know, like, am I going to play? No. You know, so I went back and I deleted some obvious things that I would never go back and play. But quite honestly, on both Xbox and PlayStation, I like having you know, a situation where I can just scroll through something. Maybe I want to play something for a little bit. I feel like Forza Horizon, like in particular, these games are a nice game to relax to. When it comes to other things. And then, you know, what happens is I appear offline on PlayStation 5, and it's not a knock on anybody, but lately I just get, if I don't appear offline on PlayStation 5, I'll just get totally swamped with messages and invites and things like that. And so I do my best to, you know, a lot of times when I'm just playing like a single player game on PlayStation 5 or something, I just kind of want to chill out and, you know, not be spammed with invites and stuff. And I don't mind talking. If you do send me a message, I'll respond on there, and I respond on Xbox as well. But it's just one of those things that I appear offline on there. So I had played and gotten through Death Stranding Director's Cut, Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, Kena Bridge of Spirits, and I had spent an incredibly large amount of time on the PlayStation 5, and I like to kind of split things up a little bit or be a little bit fair about it. And so I bought Guardians of the Galaxy, Alan Wake Remastered, and of course Forza Horizon 5 on Xbox. I also bought Call of Duty Vanguard on PlayStation 5 this time, which is my first foray into a Call of Duty game, getting it day one on a PlayStation platform. I mean, I've had Call of Duty on PlayStation before, but it was always after the fact. And so this time I'll probably get it after the fact on Xbox. But yeah, so, you know, I just buy a lot of games. I don't just talk about this stuff, right? Like, people just assume that it's just all talk or something. No, I play a lot of games. I buy a lot of games. I don't have the most amount of trophies in the world. I think I'm level like 254 or something like that. I don't know exactly what it is, but again, for years I played PlayStation exclusives only. That's all I played. And, you know, to be honest with you, for sometimes in the early years when I had like my PS4 in 2015, I would play 2 games a year on it, and that was it. It wasn't until like 2018 where I played more than 2 games in a year on it, where I played God of War, Detroit, Spider-Man, but I think I might have played some other things as well. And then in 2019, 2020, I started to branch out and play a little bit more, some third-party stuff on there. So, you know, I feel like I'm proud of the trophies that I have. I'm proud of the gamer score that I have. Obviously, that's not the exact measurement of, you know, who you are or whatever, but it's just so funny to see these Xbox guys who, where were they when I was getting death threats in 2013 because I wanted to get an Xbox One because they had the best exclusives and the most games announced. Like, where were they during all that time? I mean, they were nowhere, right? Obviously, too scared to speak up. And to me, it's just funny because you ask them, you're like, well, what's your gamer tag? Let's hop on some Forza, or let's talk about this like respectable adults or whatever. And then they're quick to not put out their gamer tag or whatever. And the reason being is I game more than them on a platform that they feel like I hate, which I don't hate it. I love Xbox. I was disappointed in Xbox in the lack of games. I, of course, will play the games that they put out, especially quality ones like Forza Horizon. I was 100% honest. I am going to wait for co-op in Halo Infinite before I dive into that because I've played every one of them co-op. And that's not a big deal to me. You know, I've got a ton of stuff to play in the meantime. I just feel like people kind of have this misconception about me that, hey, you know what? He hates Xbox and doesn't play Xbox. You're not, quote-unquote, busting me if you catch me playing Xbox. I could always appear offline. There's a million things I could do. I could not post all the plethora of screenshots that I do. It's no secret. I love Xbox. I play Xbox. I love PlayStation. I play PlayStation. It's pretty much that simple. And people have a hard time with it. You know, they expect me to be some kind of fraud when it comes to playing games or, you know, whatever, and I think it probably takes them by surprise, or they, you know, I'm not a spokesperson for PlayStation or Sony fans or Xbox or Xbox fans or any of that stuff. I'm just me, and I do the videos and stuff that appeal to me and that I think about, and that's what I'll continue doing, and that's something hopefully people do start to understand as we get further and further into this weird kind of YouTube relationship, you know. But yeah, like, I do hope that that it really is something that I wanted to get out there and let people know. I love Xbox. I'm happy that they're going to finally start putting out some games. If you guys will just understand that, I think, like, for me, understand how I feel about this. A true fan of something has no problem critiquing it. Think of it as almost like a sports fan. If you're a fan of a certain team or whatever, you're going to critique the hell out of that. Let's just be real. But if all you do is make excuses for your team being bad, or make excuses for your favorite platform not coming out with exclusives or whatever, then you're part of the problem and you're not a real fan. And that's the way I've looked at things forever, right? So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, crap gamer 'em up, crap gamer out.
Turns out, the same people as always, dropping the facts. It's not cross-gen.